Well, it is a blazing hot day here at the end of June at Delectable Tiny Gardens. Oh man, humidity is up, the heat is up, but we got some things going on in the garden, and it's honestly not any hotter out here than it is inside, so we might as well just kind of take it easy and get some stuff done. And I've got a couple of good surprises that are going on right now that I'm going to show you. I've got some bad news, but I got some good news too. So the bad news is the lettuce that I planted in the garden right before the heat wave did not make it. The lettuce that I planted in the barrel gardens, the container gardens, they're just fine because they're getting a little bit more shade. So I am going to, when it cools down a little bit, I am going to do another planting of the lettuce for a fall crop to put back in the garden. But I gotta wait until the weather cools down and the temperatures cool down, so it'll germinate. So, but that'll be a week or two, so that'll be okay. So let's get started. I got a couple of barrel gardens to put together today, and a couple of things that I'm really happy with to show you. So let's get going. Let's come over here and take a look at something. Now, if you remember, if you've seen the other videos, earlier this spring I planted I restarted my mushrooms, and they mildewed like that, okay? But when I brought them back outside and opened them up, this one I opened up a little bit later, these two have been opened up for a while, and they grew mushrooms. Now, I knew they were growing mushrooms, and I should have harvested the blues. This is the blues. I should have harvested that 2 days ago, so those are past, but I am going to go ahead and take that off of there and just take that off. And let that reset. I'm going to put that in the worm composting bin a little bit here. But that'll be okay, and that'll reset. And they should make some new mushrooms later. And look at the pinks. Those are ready to harvest right now, so I'm going to get all of those harvested and take those inside and have those with my eggs this week. So that is really good news for the mushrooms. And then that one is just getting started. The one that is still showing some mildew is just getting started producing mushrooms. So even though it looked like it wasn't going to work, in the spring, I brought them outside and let them sit and do their thing, and I've got mushrooms anyway. So that is all good news. Let's come over. Alright, so here's where I finished off last with the barrels, and put a little bit of lettuce in there and some brassicas, some greens mix, and they are both looking pretty good. Doesn't look like I need to water those again right now. So let's take a look at the rest of these. That is catmint and a tomato, and that is looking nice. And then there is the prairie sage in there, and I've got some greens mix planted in there to fill in a little bit, so until that fills in. And look at that chamomile. Looks like I need to harvest chamomile today. And the peppers are doing great. And there is the barrel with the tomatoes in it that are looking absolutely gorgeous. So the worm towers and the barrel plantings right here are doing beautifully. So it is time to finish the experiment. And today I'm going to put the last two worm towers and barrel planters together. So we've got the full line here of barrel plantings, and we've got the second line started. Okay, I have got rocks in the bottom of both of these, and I put some weeds and organic matter on top of that and mixed it all together. And next thing I'm going to do is put some paper in here. Some plain newsprint wrapping paper. Worm tower just like that in the center, and then fill around that with more of the compost and potting mix. I'm going to take it slow and easy today because it is very hot. Hoo-wee! That's about 5 buckets of soil in there, and I'm worn out. So let's put some plants in there. Okay, we're going to put some mints in the mint family in this one. And I've got 2 members of the mint family that will eventually take over this container. This one is lemon balm, and I'm going to put this one right here. Move that label to where it can be read a little bit better. This one is horehound, and both of these are medicinal mints. This one needs to be trimmed up a bit. Okay, I'm going to put this one over here. Trim this one back a little bit. Give it a good start. I don't think those are going to root, but we're going to give them a chance. Water these in. One of the things that I did this year, and as an experiment, is I bought some stalks of lemongrass at the grocery store, the Asian grocery store, and they are growing beautifully. So, to fill in the space here, I am going to add this little bit of lemongrass, one on each side. And let that grow a little bit. And water this all in again. Alright, so this is the last worm tower bed that I'm going to do today, and I've already got a couple of buckets in here, but one of the things I'm going to do is recycle a couple of pots of spent potting soil into here, do it in the bottom. I don't waste it, I'm going to recycle it, and then I'm going to finish filling this up and plant the other plants that go in here. So this is from something that I grew last winter. Put that in there. All the weeds go in there. Sure that the tower is straight up and down. I'm going to get a couple more buckets and fill that on up. Some garden sage that I rooted from fresh cuttings that I bought at the grocery store. So I'm going to pull this out of here. Look at that. That is absolutely gorgeous. So what I'm going to do, pinch off that top so that it branches out. I'm going to plant 2 of these in this bed. Now the other thing I'm going to plant in this bed is some wormwood. So, got a little bit of wormwood here. I'm going to plant that in this bed as well. These have to be watered in really well. In its own pot. Beautifully rooted. Oh, what a beautiful day this has been. So I love working in the garden and growing things in tiny spaces. It really doesn't take much, but in the heat, you gotta take it slow and easy. And right now, it's time to rest here in the shade of the maple tree. So I'm going to enjoy my shrub, my raspberry shrub, and rest for a little bit, cool down, rehydrate. And enjoy the rest of the afternoon. You know, when it's hot, slow down, take it easy, take your time. What normally takes me an hour took me 2 today. Just a lot of rest time, a lot of cool down time. But it's worth it. It's worth growing your own food in tiny spaces. It really doesn't take much. In spaces, in a container as small as a gallon, you can grow vegetables or herbs. Okay? I get a lot of mine started in milk jugs. So I would love to see you over at Delectable Tiny Gardens, where we can support each other in our endeavors with growing our own food without the chemicals, without the problems. Okay? And it's, you know, everybody's got challenges, but we solve them together. So like I said, doesn't take much space. All it takes is a container to grow some food. And hey, subscribe, and hey, check the comments down below and the links, and I'll put a link in there for the recipe book that has the fruit shrub in it. You can make your own, because this is really good on a summer day. Really good rehydration. So we'll see you next time, and come and see us over at Delectable Tiny Gardens for a free 7-day trial, and check out our next workshop, or the workshops that are in the classroom. They're all on replay, so we'll see you there. See you next time.